It is Legacy Monday Live, 24th November 2025. Ah, I'm sorry again that I have to come up 17 minutes later. I'm so sorry about that. Some challenges happened and it resulted in my coming up this late. I'm sorry. Thank you so much for joining me, and I do not take it for granted. Yeah, I don't. My name is Luke-Aliga, your young adult values coach, and the founder of Values for Legacy Academy. Yes. So, what do I do with Values for Legacy Academy and young adults? I help young adults cultivate the right values. I hope you can hear me and you can see me. All right, so I help young adults cultivate the right values. Live by them because I understand that living by the right values is a sure banker for a peaceful, meaningful life. Forget about what the naysayers say. Living right, living by the right values is the real deal. All right. Do you know about the 5-month Values Hub mentorship program that I'll be kicking off on the 1st of February 2026? If you didn't, know it now that the next cohort of the Values Hub is kicking off on 1st of February 2026. And if you are a young adult between 15 to 25, or you are a parent of a young adult, your young adult has no business being outside the Values Hub. That's the truth. So if you're a young adult on the stream, tell your parents to help you in case you need some cash. And if you're a parent of a young adult, get your young adult right there. One thing you should understand is that you should never let your young adult be alone without the right voices, the voice of wisdom. And where will these voices come from? Will it come from social media? No. Will it come from their peers? Not quite certainly. Because, of course, there are some peers who would give words of wisdom. They will come from you, the parent, and from your parenting partners. And who are your parenting partners? They are mentors, they are coaches, they are, other adults in their lives that responsible, respectable uncle, auntie, grandma, and all of them. But there's something about mentors, yeah, people like me, that your young adult would listen to and make changes, even without you, getting worked up. Because I understand that it is not for you to parent a young adult alone. The truth, you need you need coaches, and I'm very available to help them go through it because I am passionate about seeing them thrive. I am passionate about seeing young adults succeed meaningfully. I don't mean the success that doesn't translate, just vanishes. That success that is not based on values. I want every young adult to be successful based on the right values, and I will see them thrive, and I will see their success building legacies that transcend and overstays their own lives. So don't let your young adult be outside the values hub. It's just 60,000 naira. It is just 60,000 naira. For now, for early birds, it will return to 75,000 naira. Lock your young adult spot now. And for young adults who have it, who can, if you're a young adult and you can manage the financial cost, get yourself, you need the right voices. You need the right voices. Because whatever you do is impacted by the voice that you listen to. All right, let's kick off. Let's go straight to the point. Yeah, I think I've spent up to 5 minutes talking something outside of what we are doing here, but a very important thing. Give your young adults the opportunity of mentorship. Yeah. So let's go to the topic of, remember the theme of the month, vision and resourcefulness. You have a vision, we've clarified that, but how do you achieve it? Especially in situations and in times when it seems so difficult because of probably lack of resources and lack of, let's say, motivation. How do you push to achieve your vision? How do you strive to make it come to fruition? So when I say vision, I've explained this before. A vision, but for the sake of those who are want to understand, a vision is that thing you have mandated yourself to achieve, to become, to see you achieve, to see you become. You have mandated yourself. So it is that thing that you have seen that you can be. So a vision is often seen by you and you alone. Your vision is often seen by you, but others can see that you are a person of vision. You can be a man of vision, a woman of vision, but they may not know exactly what your vision is. In fact, they do not know. It is only you and your God that knows. And a vision is not necessarily something so huge, it's not necessarily, you building the tallest building in Nigeria. That's not a vision we are talking about. We are talking thing as simple as determining that you're going to go to school and finish school by so age, and that you're going to become this after you're done with your studies. That can be your vision. So you come to school and you envisage being the best graduate student. That is a vision. You go to learn a trade and you envisage making 5 million within 2 months. That is a vision. You're providing solution to people. That's a vision. Without vision, humans may not be living in a world, in the world that we are now, right now. Let me explain that. It was somebody's vision that made us live in block houses. Back then, we were living in the bushes. Humans were living in the bush, right? The primitive man, remember? And then what happened? One day, one of them sat and said, "But we can do better. He started envisioning himself living in a hut, a house. Then they started using mud. That Someone stayed and said, but we could like blocks. It's all about somebody's vision. People visionized these things and it came to be. The Wright brothers. It was a vision. They sat down and envisaged, people flying in the air like the birds from one place to another. And they started coming up with something. We have water flowing through pipes into our houses. It was because there was a vision by someone. So every solution to a problem, this laptop I'm using right now was envisioned by someone and it came to be. And that is why I can sit here and reach you wherever you are. If you like, be across seven seas. I can sit on this laptop, go online, and I'm seeing you, and you're seeing me as I'm talking, you're taking notes and all that. It was someone's vision. AI just came, landed. All of us are running after AI. It was somebody's vision. So you see, it's like a vision keeps, you know, a vision keeps making with visions, yeah, with visions, people bring up solutions to problems. With vision, people can bring up solution to perceived problems. It might not necessarily be a problem, but someone can just sit down and say, okay, I want to make life sweeter. And then it thinks of something. That is, we are all holding phones today. First, it was these manual kind of phones. And now it is the smartphones, what we call the smartphones. We even have where we can talk to Siri, the AI, and she tells us certain things. It is all people's vision. And what I want to, you are not too small to have a vision. And you are also not too big to have a vision. You are not too small to have a vision. And if you're a parent on this trip, your young adult isn't too small to have, because I know some of you shutting down that vision unknowingly. Okay. So I've told you what vision is. I've equally made you understand why visioning is important. Having a vision is important. Basically, it brings up solution, makes life better, makes us achieve something higher, and life just keeps getting better as we keep growing and we grow actualizing our vision. Grow by actualizing our vision. So let's move now to resourcefulness. Vision, you have to be resourceful. To achieve your vision, you have to make your vision come to life. Scarce. It's not there. I'll give you so many instances. I was working on this. I I came I I came up with so many I was wowed by myself. I was actually wowed. So things are the simple things that we see around us that makes you know that a young adult or an adult isn't resourceful. And that is why many people have visions that they have not been able to achieve. That's why many people have visions that they have not been able to bring to life. You're taking notes. It is very important that for every webinar you attend, you have a notepad. Even if it is always ask you to write. When I'm teaching my students, you must write. Because I know that write, it is very easy to forget. Okay. So what is resourcefulness? Resource. What is resource? Resources are those things that you require to do something, to achieve something, to achieve your vision in this case. The man who wants to, build a house will require cement, sand, gravel and all that. But he really wants to build a house. But sometimes he may not have those things available in the quantity that he needs it. I'm giving you an example. So I'm going to give you instances of people who are not resourceful, and after that, I will try to put side by side with the instances of those who are resourceful with the same examples. You see those people that say, I want to do business. This is what I want to do. But I don't have enough capital and because of that, I can't start the business. I hear it a lot. I hear it. I have many people who want to do this business, but there's no capital. It's not like they don't have some money. They don't have enough capital to start the business, and because of that, they are not going to start the business. With the belief that if they don't have all the money to kick off the business, that the business is not going to thrive. And so they'd rather not try. That is being unresourceful. I know people who have gone on to achieve the business of their dream, but started out without a dime. People who have gone on to achieve the vision of their dream in business, but started out without money. But I've seen too many people insisting that they don't have enough money to start off. You can chat me in the comment section if you have any question. Chat in the comment section. When I ask you to make any comment, just chat. When you chat, I'll be saying it. Yes, chat me, and I will say it. Okay. All right. So you see, these people abound. And by the time you know it, they don't get to start at all. Because most often, what you need to start something is not always available in full. Most often, what you need to start something is not always available in full at the time you want to begin that thing. No, it's not often available in full at the time you want to begin that thing. So that's number one. Number two, I know another people say, I know quite a few things that I can use to start on my dreams, but it is not enough. Like somebody who wants to be, who wants to pass on knowledge to people. Okay, maybe you know how to make a dress, beautiful dress, and you want to teach people, but you still feel that what you know is not enough. You know quite a few things to start on your dreams, but it is not enough. Waiting for enough is a mark of an unresourceful person. And an unresourceful person will not be able to reach the heights of the vision that they see. Number three is someone who says, my friend is just lucky. She got a good paying job quite early. But I'm so unlucky. That's why I haven't gotten any job. This is all. I've had a friend who did that, who said that, you know, it is not that they don't have jobs, or it is not that they have not seen any job. The problem is the kind of job that they envision is not what they see right now. Because of lack of being resourceful, what do? They reject those jobs they see and insist on getting that very kind that they want. And guess what? They most times end up not reaching the dream, the job of their dreams, the job that they see in their vision, simply because they refuse to get resourceful. Again, number four, I have five each. Number four, I don't know where to start. Somebody who says, I don't know where to start, but this is my vision. This is what I want to do, but I don't know where to start. Start from somewhere, the very place that you are. Number five, you have the one that says, I just can't make it happen. I'm too young for this stress. Ah, in fact, there are people that say, I'm too old for this stress. And there are others who just think that they can't take any form of stress. Very unresourceful people. Very unresourceful. Very unresourceful. But they have tall visions, tall dreams. How can you achieve your dream without a vision? My answer is you can't. You how can you achieve your vision without being resourceful? My response is you can't. It's not possible. Do you get it? So, even from the Bible, there were instances of people who weren't resourceful. And I'm going to give you right away. When you go to the book of Mark 2, chapter 2, verse 1 to 5, those are instances. I'm sorry, that is an instance of Matthew chapter 25. Yeah, that's what I wanted to go with. Matthew chapter 25, verse 14 to 30, where the three servants were given resources. They were given resources. The 1 talent, the 2 talent, and the 5 talent. Those were resources that were given to them. But of course, one person was not resourceful. And what was that? He said, I don't have enough. That is what he must have thought in his heart. It's too small. What can I do with it? So I'd rather just keep it. That was lack of resourcefulness. The other two who were very resourceful, what did they do? They went into the market. They started the business. The 5 got it multiplied, the one with the 2 got it multiplied. So if the one with the 1 went into the market, what would have happened? He would have multiplied. And probably he will begin to get to his point, the vision that he sees. A lack of resourcefulness will lead you to where you cannot achieve your vision. So let's look at the other side of what instances I just gave. So this is what a person who's resourceful says. The one who's resourceful says, I don't have enough capital, but I can start little that I have. And of course, you know what that means. There are people who start an akara business right inside their kitchen with a small pot. And then you see this business gradually coming out to the shop. to the front of the house with a bigger pot. You see this business gradually having to rent a shop. This person rents a shop and begins to buy gari beans in bags, palm oil in 25-liter jerry cans, and all that. That person started with just 200 mil, sorry, maybe 500 mil oil. I think it's vegetable oil or palm oil. 500 mil oil and 3 cups of beans. But what happened? The person had not enough, but was resourceful enough to know that I can start from here and grow. Because it's most often about growth. It's most often about growth and the mindset. Number two says, I will start on my dreams with the few things that I know. So, this is just to counter what I told you about non-resourceful people. I will start on my dreams with the little that I know. The third one says, my friend is lucky. I know I can be lucky too, but let me take the job that is not paying so good and put in my best for the experience. I'm sure I will also get lucky one day. How does that sound to you? When compared with the one who refuses and insists that the friend is just lucky. He says, my friend is lucky, yes, I know. I can be lucky too, but let me take the job that is not paying so good and put in my best for the experience. I'm sure that I'll get lucky someday. There's nobody who puts in their best and doesn't get lucky, in quotes. Do you get it? And the third one says, I will start here where I am. So the person is starting where they are. And the other resource was that I can do something no matter the stress. Most times we say, stress, I can't do anything. Why are you not doing something? You say stress. But stress has to happen. Everybody passes through stress. Every human being passes through stress. I know of some young adult. I know of a young adult who got a job and left the next day. Why? It was stressful. That is lack of resourcefulness. That is unresourceful. And it will be difficult to achieve any form of dream that you have. An example of resourceful people from the Bible are the friends of the paralytic man. In Mark chapter 2, verse 1 to 5. By the time they came, the whole place was crowded. There was no way for them to enter into the room. There was no way for them to get into the room where Jesus Christ was. What did they do? They were resourceful enough to know that they can get in through the roof. A roof, somebody's roof. They removed the zinc and passed their friend through the roof. What level of resourcefulness is that? They didn't have access to the door. Resources were very limited. But what did they do? Well, they developed. They became so resourceful and got their friend the healing that he needed. So when you're resourceful, you always turn out to be the one who is in the limelight. We can all have our visions, but without resourcefulness, we cannot get to the limelight. And the truth is, we were all created for the limelight. We were all created for that. And the light is on you. So the next time you're faced with your vision and the means to go achieve your vision is not quite the way you want it, start from how it is, start from where it is, and grow. It is in the process. Achieving your vision is in the process, not in any one jackpot event. No, it is the process. And it begins with you accepting to be quite resourceful as you go about fulfilling or achieving your vision. I give that instances, but there's one analogy I really love to So there's this someone who wants to be a fashion designer. His tall vision is to be a fashion designer. And he doesn't have a machine. He has the head, he doesn't even have the wood. And then he starts an obioma. You know what obioma is? Those people that carry the machine and go about house to house. As they are passing, they are making some sounds, and the tailor is passing. That's the obioma man is passing, and then you call him and he fixes your clothes. The obioma starts that, begins to make some money. His dream is to become one of the well-known fashion designers. But at this point, he doesn't have the resources to reach there. And then he begins with that business of working from house to house with the machine head to sew. And then as time goes on, he's able to get a small space in front of someone's shop. I've seen people grow. I've seen people grow, young people, adult people. I've seen them grow from one level to another. And then I continue to wonder why many of you refuse to move. Start the movement. That's how you achieve vision. Else you will lie around, not achieving anything, and then blaming every other person for your problems. You will lie around, not achieving your vision, and then blaming the next person who went through the process for your failure and for your refusal to wake up. So this Obioma has gotten a shop just right in front of us, did a small, pay small money. The money was not enough. He would have wanted to get a big shop. And then by the time you know it, he's getting half of a shop. He's able to pay for half of a shop. This is how you are resourceful to be able to achieve your vision. And in the next 3 years, the old person that Asobioma has gotten to a point where he can rent a full shop. And you will be somewhere refusing to get up and use what you have. You will be at that place looking at him and becoming envious that he was just an Obioma yesterday. Just look at common Obioma. You forget that he has a vision and he's using the resources that he has to keep proceeding, to keep moving. It is a process. It is in the process. You don't jumpstart to success. You don't jumpstart to achieving that vision. You start from somewhere. And that is the message I want you to get today. Because many of you are just lying in bed, for goodness sake, scrolling through social media. When you have big dreams and big visions, I've seen young people who say, I want to be one. They call a big name, but they are not moving. They are just seated, waiting for the big bang. And you can't have it that way. You can't always have it like that. The big bang comes after you have shown that you can manage the little bangs. After you have shown that the little hits here can take it, and then your big bang hits. and everybody will stand in awe. They wouldn't know the process, but your resourcefulness took you through the process. So by the time you know it, Obioma has gotten in the shop, and boom, 5 design houses or 5 fashion houses in 5 different locations. How did she get here? So the instance I give, the day I saw how Vicky James started, Vicky James, the designer, started and got to the point where Vicky James is going to the US, announcing to the world and telling us that this is when she'll be in this state in the US and the other state. And some people are so jealous. It is because she used the little resources at the time she started. I've seen people who are in the business of Vicky James who are still where they were till tomorrow. In fact, some are getting worse because they still insist that they cannot do anything without having the big bang. And unfortunately, when you do not go through the process, when the big bang comes, you will not still be able to use it effectively. So you're going to remain back. So the resourcefulness is what puts you through the process. The process is what takes you to that vision that you have envisaged. I hope you can hear me. Okay, it's like those on Facebook, you can't see chat. If you have any question, please put it in the chat. If you have anything to just put it in the chat. Let me know that you're watching me. Let me know that it's making sense. I just want to know that what I'm saying here is actually making sense to you because I need it to, please. Okay. So I'm going to talk about why resourcefulness is very important. I'm sure I must have touched it in all what I've been saying, but I'm going to look at it, very specifically. Why resourcefulness is actually very much needed for you to achieve your vision. Why it is very much needed for you to achieve your vision. Being resourceful equips you equips you with what it takes and the skills that you need to navigate challenges. Yeah. It equips you with what it takes to adapt to changing circumstances, like I said earlier. When the needed or the wanted is not available, the available becomes what? What you want. Take it, accept it, and use it. So adapt to changing circumstances and find creative solutions to your problems, to any problems that come up. So, so many reasons. Yeah, there are so many reasons why you should be resourceful. Again, I'm sure that you've seen them, you've already heard some of them, but I'm going to go just, focusing on that now. Resourcefulness gives you the ability to overcome setbacks. The Obioma that decided to take his the head of his machine from house to house could still be that tailor who had a shop, but for some reasons experienced a setback in business. Maybe something happened to the house and she lost it to the shop it. Or maybe she did a business with somebody that failed and she couldn't cope. She couldn't, pay for her rent. And so she had to lose it. What resourcefulness does it to help somebody in that situation to understand that, yes, I've lost this, but I can still get back on my feet. This is how I'm going to do it. And the person moves with the little resources that is available at the time. So it helps you, overcome setbacks and failures and treat these things as learning points. I want to say something. One thing about resourcefulness is that it is a mindset thing. Resourcefulness is a thing of the mind. If you don't have a positive mindset to understand that you need to keep moving despite your circumstances, you're not going to be able to be resourceful. So you need that mindset. You need the mindset. There's another mindset of having to look at things from different perspectives. Those are the things that can help you be resourceful, even in times when it seems like every other thing has failed you. Another thing resourcefulness does, and one of the reasons why you need resourcefulness is it is one way that you develop resilience. Do you see my analogy of the fashion designer, the person who wanted to be a fashion designer? Resourcefulness built his resilience and took him to that dream place of becoming the owner of fashion houses. And it started from accepting to move with small steps. It started from accepting that I can't be big at that time when I start. I can start little by little and grow to become the powerhouse that I want to be. Because your vision, when you achieve your vision, you're a powerhouse. Any vision you have that you want to achieve and you push to achieve it, even the fact that you're going through the process is you building yourself to become someone who, when he speaks, every other person will listen. Remember, you'll be speaking from experience. You will not be speaking from a place where you don't understand the process. That is what being resourceful does. So it gives you a resilience to keep moving no matter what happens, no matter how difficult and challenging it is. When you're resourceful, like I said, it is about the mindset. Because when it is not in the mind, you're not going to be able to push. You're not going to be able to use the scarce resources to do something for yourself. You would remain there thinking that everything should be rosy right from the start. That's not true. Another reason is that when you are resourceful, it is easier for you to recognize that there are many ways to arrive at your vision. Well, this analogy of the person who wants to have a fashion house and started very little is just this. It is easier for you to recognize that there are many ways to arrive at your vision. So there are many ways to solve a problem. The thing we say there are many ways to kill a rat. When rat disturbs you so much, you say is it an adage or is it an idiomatic expression? Can't remember, but there are many ways to kill a rat. So it's an idiomatic expression, I think. So that is what resourcefulness does to you. Please tell young adults, you have to build the resourcefulness mindset. It's not I'm waiting until I get it big. Not no, I can't do anything. You see, I don't have anything. Eh. Begin with that thing that you have. Another thing that resourcefulness does is that it grows your determination and perseverance. And these are things that you need to go through that stage of little process. Remember? These are the things that you need to go through that stage where it seems nothing is going to work. As an Obioma, be serious. I'm just saying Obioma, those people that carry machine around to sew. At that point, anybody looking at you will think that Wage Agola, like your world has ended. Like, how is somebody carrying this and this? Anybody that sees you say, this one world don't finish. But what does resourcefulness say? It gives you what? Determination and perseverance. And do you know what? You even need determination and perseverance even when you have achieved your vision. Because if you achieve your vision, you don't stop. You keep moving. How do you stop? The day you stop, you have died. Though. You may not die literally, but the day you stop. So even when you get to that vision, another vision will come up. And what happens? You push again because you have built your perseverance muscle and determined muscle. So what does it involve? Resourcefulness, what does it involve? It involves being open to innovative ways of handling situations. It involves what? Being open to innovative ways of handling situations. So if A doesn't work, if way A doesn't work, you're creating, looking for, trying to find out way B. So you've said that if A doesn't work, this is B. And if this B doesn't work, I'll push for C. So you don't just sit there and continue to wait for A to work. And if A doesn't work, you push for B. That's what resourcefulness makes you do. That is what resourcefulness involves. And that is how you move. With this mindset, you can never be caught not moving in the direction of your vision. With this innovative, with having the mindset and understanding there are other ways that something can be done, you cannot be caught not moving in the direction of your vision. Oh, you are a student, you want all A's, but along the line, you find out you don't have money to buy books. And what do? Do you sit down and brood over not being able to buy books? And because of that, you decide that it's better you fail since you couldn't buy books. What are the other options if I can't buy books? If I can have access to books for myself, what are the other? Oh, there is a library I can go to. I'll go make use of the library every single day for the book that I need. Oh, the phone. I don't have data. What if I talk to my friend and she just lets me use her data for like 4 minutes? I think I can get something out of it and probably print it out or save it to my phone and I read it later. Those are resourceful ways of solving problems and getting to your vision. So I've seen, I'm a lecturer, so I've seen so many things happening. And students are just there. If one way doesn't work, they sleep on it. They sleep and wake up expecting something to, a magic to happen. No, to your vision, you don't wait for magic. You do the work. And how do you do it with limited resources? Innovate. Okay. What else does it involve? Being resourceful also involves being receptive to new ideas. So, yes, because so many unresourceful people are people who don't take advice. Many unresourceful are people who don't take advice. They don't listen to voices. They don't listen to other people. They don't care. When you advise them, it doesn't work. They don't care. Say all you want, it doesn't bother them. Instead, they might even turn against you. They might feel that you don't love them, and that's why you're trying to give them options. I've seen those kind of people. It gives you so when what I mean by that is that when someone, maybe a loved one, brings an idea on how you can start towards achieving your vision, maybe since you cannot get it all in one blow, and they start telling you, okay, this is what to do, or this is what I did, or this is what I know someone did, you know, from little steps to achieve their vision. Be willing and open. A resourceful person is willing and open to such ideas. So it is important that you receive these ideas wholeheartedly. Look at things from these people's perspective. It fosters a mindset of continuous learning and growth. It fosters a mindset of continuous learning, and that is another thing that resourcefulness does. Just be open to the perspective of others. Another thing is that it requires also that you collaborate with others. Back to the analogy of the Obioma man, or that tailor that couldn't start big. After some time, what did he do? He was able to rent somebody's shop in front of the person's shop. After some time, he was able to get half. That's collaboration. He didn't need to wait to have a full shop to himself. Instead, he collaborated with someone else to have a place to do his business, pending when he will now be able to get a full shop, which he later did. And like I said, later became a powerhouse in the fashion industry. So, to achieve your vision, you must collaborate. There's Moreover, there's nothing you do in life that doesn't need you to collaborate with others. Is there anything? Even play. Even if you are playing, you must collaborate with other people to play. So you must engage with other stakeholders, friends, and sometimes even those you do not care about. Your foes. Yeah. Do you know that you can collaborate with your foes to achieve something? You don't like them, you don't love them, but business is business. You achieve, and then both of you go your ways. You know, when I was thinking of it, I smiled. I said, "Yeah, but it's true. You can equally learn from your foes. Those who you say you don't like them, but you can equally learn from them. That's resourcefulness. Moving forward with the little that is available." And so, I don't want to take more of your time. I think we've spent up to 53 minutes already. So, I will ask you something. Do something. I hope you have a pen and a book. Reflect on your life. Reflect. What's your vision? Put it down. How have you expressed resourcefulness towards achieving your vision? How have you expressed resourcefulness towards achieving your vision? Decide today to apply fullness in all that. Yeah, decide today to apply resourcefulness in all that you do. Before I go, because that is the end of that very topic. But before you go, remember that it is the Tofon Luke-Aliga speaking to you. And I am your young adult values coach. If you're a young adult of this stream, yay. If you're a parent of a young adult, big yay. Come closer. The Values Hub 5-month mentorship program begins on the 1st of February 2026. It's 5 months with webinars, daily tools and tasks to help your young adult build their values and become people who are meaningfully successful. I don't think you would like to miss such an opportunity. And you know the best part, it comes at very low cost. 60,000 naira for early bird. Very soon, it will go up to 75,000 naira. Yeah, early bird gets to pay 60,000 naira. Don't miss this. Don't lose this. Grab this opportunity today. I will put on the payment details on the chat spaces after we are done with this video. Ensure that your young adult participates. The voices that your hears matters. The voices that your young adult listens to matters. Seriously. Do you consider how when somebody tells you something bad about someone that you haven't met before, when you meet them, you tend to behave with them according to what you heard about them? That's how powerful the voice of any person in your life is. Get your young adults to listen to my voice. Get them into the values hub. And if you're a young adult who can afford it, why not get into the values hub today? I assure you, you will not regret it. You know, I floated the Values Hub Mentorship Free Program, and I know how much the young adults there who fully participated in the activities benefited. Daily voice notes, webinars, bi-weekly webinars, and books, reading card. What do you think will happen to your life when you read? Do you know what it means to read? Do you know how powerful it is to read books and allow the books change your life? They read and review the books that they read. Powerful books. That's what I'm giving you. And then they build capacity. At the Values Hub, when you get into the Values Hub, you can come out the same. Within a month, you're changed. Yes. That's the assurance that I give you. So, get into the Values Hub. We start up 1st February 2025. Thank you so much for joining me for today's webinar, and I appreciate it. I appreciate you, your time and everything. I've seen someone who has been with me throughout on the stream. Thank you so much. God bless you, and do have a beautiful night rest. Remember that I value you.